Well, we're going to stick with politics here. Vice President Kamala Harris Tuesday night reiterating her support for fracking in the ever-important swing state of Pennsylvania. Take a listen.
I will not ban fracking. I have not banned fracking as Vice President of the United States. And in fact, I was the tie-breaking vote on the Inflation Reduction Act, which opened new leases for fracking.
A bit of a change there. Harris was against the policy when she ran for president back in 2019. Joining us now to discuss, we've got our very own Rick Newman. Rick, I know that you have talked with us a lot about the potential policy shifts within the Harris campaign. What are you kind of digesting that this change could mean?
There are three big issues where she has changed her policy from 2019. The first is fracking, and that's energy more broadly. So she supported the Green New Deal in 2019, which would have been a massive government reach into the transportation and energy sectors. I mean, that was never going to happen, but she supported it anyway, and that included the ban on fracking. She supported Medicare For All, the giant health care plan that would cover everybody. That's Bernie Sanders' idea. That's no longer her policy. And then immigration. She has gotten much tougher on immigration since 2019. And I mean, none of this is really surprising. She has to update these policies because in 2019, she was kind of a pretend president. She was running. She didn't even make it it was the 2020 election, but her campaign flamed out at the end of 2019. She didn't even make it to the first primary. And she was trying to win liberal votes, progressive votes, by sort of finding a niche between Elizabeth Warren and Bernie Sanders way over here, and then Joe Biden more in the center. It didn't work, obviously, but now she is campaigning to be the real president, and she's running in a general election where she absolutely has to get the votes of moderates and independents. So it only makes sense that she's adopting these more sensible policies. And so you can say she's flip-flopping. Yes, she is flip-flopping. All candidates kind of flip-flop. Trump has certainly flip-flopped. Voters could say, I'm glad she's taking these positions because these are actually much more sensible and more realistic positions that address what you have to do in the real world if you are the president, rather than you're just trying to win 20% of the most liberal voters in a primary election.
Do you think those centrist voters are going to trust her on this? Because then I would guess that there's a fear that she's just going to flop back to maybe to what her rhetoric and what her stances had been in the past.
I think that's a huge question, and that is what that's what the polls are trying to figure out. Is she getting those votes? We're not going to know if the polls are going to give us a good answer until Election Day. She is clearly trying. I mean, from a perspective of realpolitik, if you will, if she takes these positions, she can't get elected president and then suddenly say, oh, I was lying, let's ban fracking. I mean, if she wins the presidency, she's going to want to get reelected, and she's also going to want to help her party in Congress, and she just cannot be an extreme leftist politician and help her party and stay in office or win re-election. So, Biden, for example, when he was campaigning in 2020, he said he wanted to end fossil fuels. And then guess what happened? Gasoline prices hit $5, and suddenly he's flooding the market with oil from the strategic reserve. No, we're not going to ban fossil fuels. We're going to try to. Now he's asking, American companies to produce more. He's asking the Saudis, more oil, please. So, I think Kamala Harris was there for all that, and she's smart enough to have learned the lesson. Be careful what you say, because when the market turns against you, people are going to remember you said, let's ban this or that. Suddenly the price goes up. Voters clearly blamed Biden for rising energy prices, even though it really wasn't his fault. It had more to do with the Russia war in Ukraine and stuff like that. But they were like, Biden hates fossil fuels. Fossil fuel prices are up. It's his fault.